It says preparing.
Yeah, it takes a minute. Well, hello, everybody, and good afternoon. It is afternoon as of 25 seconds ago. Welcome to Community Chats for Wednesday, May 20th. We are so thrilled to be with you again. My name is Anthony Syracuse, the Director of Community Engagement here at the University of Mississippi, and I am joined by my colleague, Teresa Chandler, who is a wonderful asset in our Office of Community Engagement. And she will be stepping in for our colleagues, Erin Pisa-Oath and Jody Holland, who normally join us, but have very busy schedules today. So welcome to Community Chats. As you know, this is an opportunity for us to hear from folks in the Lafayette Oxford community who are making a profound and positive difference in our region. Today is no different. We have an awesome show ready for you, and I look forward to introducing our guest here momentarily. We're with you every Wednesday and Friday live at 12 noon here on Facebook Live. And if you'd like to be interviewed or you know someone that we should interview, please let us know. Send us a direct message on Facebook or send us an email at engaged@oldemiss.edu. This is a joint initiative, Community Chats, with our colleagues at the Lafayette Oxford Foundation for Tomorrow, LOFT. They provide grants to so many organizations in our community and are engaged actively in making a positive difference. So thanks to LOFT for all their support. Without further ado, I have the great honor and privilege of introducing Teresa Adams, the Executive Director of Leapfrog, to all of you. And we just are so thrilled to have you, Teresa, on the show today. Welcome.
Thank you. Excited to be here. It's so nice to talk to other adults and get back into the Leapfrog conversation.
Love it. Well, there is so much to cover. So let's just jump right into it. Can you tell us a little bit about where you started out, where you grew up, and what was your path like to come to Lafayette Oxford?
I'm from DeSoto County and came to college at Ole Miss, and then graduated in 2005 with a degree in education. Met my husband and we kind of decided this is a cozy place. It was near my family and his family's here and nearby. So it was a nice central location, and was just kind of job hunting for a little while, and then got word that this position was opening up, and I actually hadn't heard of Leapfrog during my college career. So it was really interesting to interview and then learn about it and thankfully get the job. So I will be with the program 14 years in October.
Wow.
That's great. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, crazy long ride.
Well, Carissa, you want to ask the next question?
Sure. I think you kind of went over it a little bit, but is there anything else you'd like to share about how you currently got into the position, or who you heard about it from? What you've learned over the past 14 years?
Ooh, I've learned a lot. It was very small when I took on as executive director. We served 90 students then, and today, well, we got as large as 140, but that was when we were in one of the Oxford School District's buildings, and then we've kind of scaled back to 120. We were in an Oxford School District building for 2 years, and now that is the site of the new Central Elementary School. So for the 2 years while that was being constructed, we moved back to the churches and scaled back a little bit for size and space issues. And then we are planning on moving back into the Oxford School District's building this fall. It's the old Oxford Elementary. So we're really excited about that. It will just really help us serve our students more efficiently and in one space, and just a lot of logistical issues will be eliminated. So we're really excited about that. So it's been a very interesting journey. I am one who likes change, so this self-isolation is not. I've been having to find projects around the house and, think of new things to do. So with Leapfrog, it has been a great job for me because nothing is ever the same. Every day is always different. And we work with over 200 volunteers from the university. Those are students who come in and commit all semester, and they're amazing and volunteer to tutor and mentor students. And then the kids, you know, on a daily basis, it's just so many variables that come into play that I've often said when we just are getting started at Leapfrog for the day and the kids are coming in, the volunteers are coming in, and we're, you know, it's all like this. I feel like I'm back to my days of waiting tables during football games, because it's just like, hold on, I got you. Okay, you know. So it's real. I really enjoy it for all just the different elements that I'm able to come in contact with and engage with the community and the people and the volunteers. Really have to give a big shout out to our volunteers because they've been amazing. They commit to the semester to work with one student if they're a tutor, and then to come hang out and play with our kids. But they just, you know, they don't get enough credit as college kids for being responsible and really making a big impact in the community. So we love our volunteers.
That's so great. Teresa, can you pull the frame back a little bit and just tell us a little bit about what's the mission of Leapfrog? What's the goal?
So we serve 120 first through third graders after school. We are set up to do, when the students arrive, they get 75 minutes of one-on-one tutoring, and it follows a curriculum. And then and a schedule. And then after the tutoring hour, the tutors usually leave for school or class, or work. And then we have another set of volunteers who come in to play with the students. So free play outside on playground, football, basketball, or we had a really rigorous calendar for the semester of visitors we got to fulfill about half. Traveling Trunks from the University Museum comes once a month and does a project with the kids, which is really awesome.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, they've been a partner with us for years, for at least 12 years. So as long as it's a long time. They've really been a big supporter, and the kids love it. It's something fun they get to do each month. We also have Small World Yoga, who was coming in once a week and doing yoga with the students. That was really amazing. It's really precious to watch too. And just a lot of different organizations on campus and in the community that wanted to come and share their talents or whatever they were doing and show our kids, or let our kids be involved in it. So it's a tutoring hour and then like an enrichment hour, we call it. And so we do that during the academic school year, and we serve 60 students from Lafayette County on Monday and Wednesdays, and 60 from Oxford City on Tuesday, Thursday.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you. That's great work.
Can you share a little bit about your staff and how they serve the organization?
So big staff, me and one other person. Dana Engelbert came on with us over a year ago, and she's been amazing. She has a lot of prior nonprofit background, marketing, directing, and she's worked for big nonprofit corporations. So she came with a lot of knowledge, and I'm so grateful to have her. Another stable adult who's with me every day, and I can be like, what does this mean? How do we do this? And she's like, oh, ABC, bloop, and
yeah,
do it. So she's been a huge asset to the program.
That's great.
But besides Dana and myself, it's the 200 volunteers that we rely heavily on. And then we have 2 retired educators who have committed to our program for over 5 years now. Ruth Odell is a retired educator, and she's played a huge part in our organization, helping come in and do reading interventions with our students, as well as Cassie Dabbs, who's a community member and doesn't ever want any kind of accolades, but she's been amazing and helped us restructure our curriculum. And she volunteers every day to help the tutors and intervene when they have questions. So it's a huge effort of volunteers and just a lot of people with good hearts and who want to help these kids. So we're very lucky in that aspect.
Wow. It really takes a village to do something like that and to make a difference in the lives of so many kids, especially, and this is, I think, not uncommon for nonprofits when you don't have as robust a full-time staff as maybe you'd like or prefer. So it's really cool to see the way Oxford and the university has stepped up to help, and really inspiring. So you talked about those kind of 2 hours that you have with the kids. Are there any other kinds of specific programs that you'd want to highlight, or any sort of additional depth you'd want to provide about the specific kind of programs you offer for the children?
Well, all of this information we go into deep detail into on our website, and so if you want to check that out, we show where our curriculum came from, and it's really details our schedule every day. But the program was set up to serve these students who were at risk for falling behind academically. And we do that, and we pull data, and we get grades and numbers. But personally, the piece of the program that keeps me at Leapfrog and makes me happy and that I love is these students who've been with us for 3 years, and the volunteers who've been with us for those years, and the ones who remember their student. I have a college volunteer who graduated. She's in Washington, D.C. She somehow she stayed in contact with her student for years, and then her student came on a school field trip to DC, and she met up with him. Like, they make great bonds and a great impact on these kids' lives. And it's, up until a couple of years ago, it was a lot of girls coming to volunteer because it's kids, usually go hand in hand. But we recently had a big pool of guy volunteers that's been amazing, and they have been so great. It's just really sweet to see these like tough college guys interacting with these little first graders, or so we do value and want to show our data and the numbers and how we impact these students, because that is very real and very important.
Right.
But for me, the main part is seeing the relationships that form, and having my students call me and leave a voicemail saying, "Miss Teresa, can you ask if Nathan can tutor me in the semester?" It's like, "Oh, yes, I will." And seeing them in public, and they want to give you, you're a celebrity to them. So there's a lot on that level that often doesn't get reported, just because, today we get swept up in numbers and data, which is important, but this is
also important. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. What are some of the greatest challenges you experience as a nonprofit in LOU, whether that's like right now or just in general?
Well, of course, fundraising and our budget, that's just nonprofit standard. And so we really rely heavily on community support. It is a fully free program for these students to participate. And we're a privately funded program. We have support from the local United Way and 2 local churches, and then we rely on community support and fundraisers. So that's really the biggest challenge, is raising money each year, making sure our budget is stable and that we can keep our program going and keep growing our program, because everything gets more expensive, and we would like to give the moon to our students, but it costs money, and doing that responsibly. So that's one of the biggest challenges. And one way community members who are interested in helping our program can visit our website and sign up to be a monthly donor. And that's really an easy one step. You do it and you're done, and you don't have to think about it again. It just comes out. That really helps us to have a continuous stream of income that's a dedicated budget. And then I would also say our other challenge is our weakness, and our strength is volunteers, because without them, we don't have a program. And I really emphasize that when we're doing training with them, how important they are and how much we appreciate them. So it's been really scary when we closed because of COVID, and now looking ahead with how this is all going to play out. And so we're taking it day by day. That's been heavy on my mind, worrying about how we will still continue to serve these students, because it's such a valuable piece of their academic school year that they rely on. So that's a challenge that we're facing. But during this time, we still were able to serve some of our students. We delivered packets of books and supplies to our kids at the very beginning. And then we've done a second book delivery now. And then we also had numerous tutors who were volunteering to tutor their students over FaceTime or Zoom, which was really amazing. So that's been great. And so we jokingly say we know how to tutor over Zoom now. So if we have to do that, which I hope we don't, but we've got one tool in our pocket.
What a great skill to have learned.
Yeah.
Not on purpose.
Right.
Truly. Well, I mean, Teresa, one of the things that's so impressive about your background and your work with Leapfrog is how long you've been there. And, for folks who are watching the program or listening who've done nonprofit work, that work can be taxing. And especially when you're working with young people and organizing so many volunteers, it's just a lot of energy, So what has kept you going all these years? What gets you out of bed and motivated to do this work for Lafayette Oxford, the youth of Lafayette Oxford every day?
Well, I had twins my third year in the program, and so my boys have been able to go to work with me a lot, and which I feel has been really great for them to grow up and be involved in this type of community. And but besides that aspect or piece, I grew up in a family that was very community minded, and so this is just something that was instilled in me at a young age. And so that was kind of a natural piece for me to when I started the program, and just wanting to give more and make sure that all these students are served, because once you meet them and make bonds with them, you really fall in love with them. We get really sad after the third grade year, because that's the last year they can come, and they'll go on to fourth grade, which is great. But we are so attached to these kids that is sad for us. We've gotten to know their family and their parents and their siblings, and it's like, where are you going? So always say, well, your sibling can come next, like, please.
Right. Yeah.
But just it's been really inspiring also to see our volunteers come and be so dedicated and so loving towards our students. And they go on to, I've had several volunteers who've changed their major to education after volunteering with us.
Wow.
A lot of volunteers go on to serve with AmeriCorps or City Year after this because of their experience with Leapfrog. And so that if we're helping open eyes to a whole new world for some people, and bring out more community minded people, it's so worth it, because that's what we need. We need more people who are willing to go in and do the dirty work and get in there and help and see the need and try to fill the need.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, like Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers, and yes. Y'all are the helpers at Leapfrog. Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Teresa.
Wow. Well, in addition to becoming donors, how else can people in the community help out Leapfrog?
Well, since we're moving to a new, as long as everything goes as planned, this fall, we did give away a lot of our books this spring and summer to our students. So we'll be doing a book drive, and then we always need volunteers. So it's usually college students who sign up because they have the ability to work it in their schedule. So we always need tutors and enrichment volunteers, and then just community members who have any special talents or skills that want to share them with our students. We love that. The First Regional Libraries come several times, and they've done storybook or story puppet shows with the kids. The Small World Yoga that comes. I mean, just anyone. We had the Good Food for Oxford Schools come and do little cooking classes. So,
Oh,
you know,
neat.
we are always open and wanting people to come, and if it's educational or a love for reading or art or just a whole new world, we want our kids to find something they love and then want to learn about it through reading. So that's kind of our hope, to grab them with something that interests them and then show them how they can do research and read about it and kind of instill that love of learning in them at a young age.
Yeah.
That's cool. When I was growing up, we had Reading Rainbow on PBS.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still going, but
I
I
don't know
loved that
either.
because it was like, it's just what you said, is there something you're interested in? You can explore that through a book. And
Yeah.
I just love that y'all carry that mission forward in LOU. And Teresa, I want you to have the opportunity now to have 1 minute to share with the LOU community any message that you would like. So what would you like to share?
Encourage those who can to give on our website. And then also just encourage them to give to all the nonprofits here in Oxford, because especially during this time, they're all doing such great work. And some of us may not know how much it is needed in the community and don't rely on it, but there are lots that do. And so just really appreciating and giving to those community organizations like Leapfrog right now, especially right now.
Yeah. Well, this has just been such an inspiration. I continue to be blown away by folks like you in the LOU community who are making a difference every day and doing the hard work of working with young people, working with folks who need resources in our community and services. And I just want to thank you for that work and for your dedication over the years, and for being on the show today. Yeah, and to our viewers, thank you all as well, and to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Just a reminder that on Friday, this Friday, May 22nd, we will have Stephanie Green from the Strawberry Plains Audubon Society on the show. You don't want to miss that. It is a really cool, unique nonprofit group in our region. You need to know about them. So be sure to tune in on Friday. And in the meantime, please like, comment, share this live feed with your friends. We're going to link to the Leapfrog website in the comments. Go onto their website, sign up for the automatic contribution. I bet $5 a month makes a huge difference for the organization. So consider setting that up. And in the meantime, stay engaged, stay safe, and we will see you next time on Community Chats.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.